Hello there, this is the Tilta Nucleus-Nano or Nucleus-N wireless follow focus system. It was introduced in summer 2018 and started being available in early 2019. Here in Europe, it is actually still difficult to get as of May 2019, and I decided to get it from a Chinese seller. It is advertised by Tilta mostly as a focus system for gimbals, ideally with Tilta's own gravity gimbals, but also for the Ronin S or the Zion crane. However, it can certainly be used with a rig, and more about that later. By the way, if you already use it with a gimbal or rig, I would love to read about your experiences in the comments below. I had a few days now to test it with my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K and would like to share my initial experiences in this video from a practical point of view. The Nucleus-Nano comes in a box, and you can see that it has already suffered a bit during its trip to Europe. Still, no issue for the product itself, for it comes in a pretty solid soft case and all individual items are safely put into it. And this is what you find in the case. I will not go into every name and every detail of each item here, as you can easily read that on the Tilta homepage and in other reviews. Just a short overview before I dive deeper into the practical side of using the system. The core pieces are the hand controller and the motor. For mounting the hand controller, there is an attachment plate, and you slide in the controller and fix it with this red little latch. As you can see, the attachment plate covers the contacts on the back of the hand unit, and I don't see any actual use of these contacts. They are not explained in the quick guide that comes with the Nucleus-N as well. If you know what could be their use, please share your knowledge. The hand unit can also be mounted to a Zion crane using an included adapter, which I use on my rig, as you will see later in this video. More about the buttons on the hand controller later. The included mounting system for the motor is a base plate with a 10 cm long rod. While it makes sense to use it on a gimbal or perhaps mount it to the naked camera, I do not use it, and again, more about it later. While the motor has to be powered with a micro USB connection, the hand controller takes one of two included 14500 batteries at 3.7 volts. They look like AA batteries, but they deliver a significantly higher voltage. The battery charger is a magnetic USB charger and looks quite special. Some sellers' packaging lists and even Tilta's own quick start guide still say that a dual battery charger is included. That might have been an early idea. Also included are two gear rings to be attached to non-cinema lenses, as normal still lenses don't work with a follow focus motor. While I do use them with certain lenses, with others that are often put on my BMPCC 4K, I have actually glued some of these rings directly to the lenses. Now, how do I use the Nucleus-Nano? I have mounted it to my flexible shoulder handheld tripod rig that I have shown in a video before. By the way, I have made a few changes to my setup and might do an updated video on this rig later. As you can see, I have used the included Zion crane adapter to attach the hand unit to the right handle so that I can operate it easily with my right thumb. At least that is how I use it when the rig is on my shoulder or I carry it as a heavy handheld unit. The big advantage is that I can still hold the handle firmly while operating the hand controller wheel. And it can be installed in seconds, as the adapter and the base plate usually stay on the rig. And if I use it in tripod mode, I can also simply take off the unit into my hands. Easy. For the motor unit, I want to mount it on the rods of the shiftable base plate of my rig. The distance from there to the lenses is a bit long, so I used the dual rod clamp that I still had. Also, because the included 10 cm rod can be too long if I put a mat box in front of it, I got a 5 cm short rod to put the motor on. This mounting system is super flexible to go with all the different lenses that I use. For powering the motor, my rig setup is super convenient as well. The battery plate that I use has a USB port, and using a USB to micro USB cable, the motor can be powered from there too. So no additional battery necessary. If you don't have that, a simple USB power bank can be used as well. Once you have mounted everything, the first thing you have to do is to calibrate the motor. The easiest way to do that is to press the Cal button on the hand controller for 3 seconds, and the system will do the rest for you. For lenses with infinite focus rings, there is a slightly different system, and you can find that on Tilta's homepage, for example. Once the motor is calibrated, you're ready to go. As you can see from some of these test shots here, it works really well, and it actually does not take too much time to practice. Just be sure that you don't try to focus too quickly. And of course, a big enough monitor and focus peaking are really useful. You can set an A/B focus range by clicking the Set button on the hand unit at your desired A and B point. While I do not like it when I carry the rig on my shoulder, it can be very useful when having the rig or just the camera on a tripod, and the system is quite reliable. Okay, I guess you can see that generally I like the Nucleus-Nano. Is there anything not to like? Well, one thing that is not in control of Tilta is the fact that I cannot use the record button on the hand unit to start the recording on my BMPCC 4K. But Blackmagic Design is to blame for this one, as it does not offer such a RS option. The biggest issue with the unit itself for me would be the power of the motor. Here you can see that the Nucleus-N is really struggling with my good old Helios 44M. Now, this focus ring is heavy up to a level that I think I might have to do something about it. And it doesn't help that the attached gear ring does not perfectly fit the shape of the focus ring. Still, there is hope. While the usual voltage you get from USB or micro USB connection is around 5 volts, or even a little lower when challenged, the Nucleus-Nano motor is actually rated for 5 to 18 volts and has more power at higher voltages. So I will get a D-tap to micro USB cable to take full advantage of the 14.4 volts. If you plan to do that, just be sure that you get a cable that does not automatically transform the 40.4 volts to the usual 5 volts expected for normal micro USB ports. Another thing that bothers me a little is the little display on the hand unit. While you mostly don't need it at all, if you really have to dive into the menus, you better bring a magnifying glass. I absolutely don't like it, so here I'd rather show you how to power off the hand unit controller, and thanks for watching.